What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the pod. This week we're here with the full crew back again. We got Pedro back, and of course I'm here with Scott and Paul. What's good, guys? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Hap-
fellas.
Happy holidays, everybody. But we'll see what happens after this is done. If it's still happy, everyone's still happy.
Today we're having a special Christmas day. Well, Christmas movie draft. If you heard the Halloween special, we also had a monster movie draft. This is the Christmas movie draft, which I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it sounded pretty straightforward, but I feel like Christmas movies are so top heavy that it's gonna be difficult to sort of parse this out or play this out. Scott shaking your head.
I must say, I put a lot of effort into this list.
Wow.
Not
all
only
right.
did I put an effort in, I happened 2 weeks ago, I realized that the CW had a special called Best Christmas Movies Ever.
Okay.
And I listed every movie they mentioned, and I went, okay, well, let me plug them into these categories and see what happens.
Okay. Good strategy.
Scott's he's trying to redeem himself for coming in last time.
I never said that horror. I completely admitted that horror movies are not my thing. This is a different story.
This is a different story. Okay. Yeah,
I-
Scott came
I
in with
actually had
2
a-
points last time. It's tough.
And I must say, as a background, it was actually a good thing because Bruno actually sent me donuts.
That's true. Oh yeah, because we had a running joke about he kept getting the donuts.
Yes.
So
yes.
I shipped him a box of donuts.
So I didn't realize, not to take too much time, I didn't know who the donuts were from because it said Bruno, but I didn't make the connection because they showed up. I'm like, I don't know. These donuts are not for, and I really couldn't read who it was for. Didn't say it was for. I'm like, who are these for? And then eventually the staff ate half of them, in my building ate half of them.
They didn't care who it was for.
No, I'm like, I don't know who these are. I didn't know they were for me. Like, they ate them. I'm like, I'll eat one too. And it wound up being that I ate one out of the 3 donuts that were for me, for real. Because I said to you as a joke, like, I got donuts. Like, yeah, I know. I said them to you. I'm like, you did?
There you go. Even the losers are the biggest winners.
Damn, that's a long con. I didn't know you sent him donuts.
Yes.
I did.
That's that long con.
Because there was a running joke about how he had I don't know, 0 on one of the categories or something. I don't even remember now.
It was
I remember it was the Simpsons donut. You said you wanted that pink frosting one.
Yeah. So I got him. I made sure to ship him a box of donuts.
I'm not used to getting Uber Eats delivery, so I'm not really all up on that.
Yo, real quickly before we start, there was some breaking news I just read on Twitter. With the upcoming release of 28 Weeks Later, 28 Days Later is going to be available on streaming December 28th for the first time in
Now,
I don't know how long.
That's one of those movies that like you couldn't find streaming for some reason.
So the reason, I don't know exactly the full reason. So the reason was this was a Fox Searchlight film, and then ultimately Disney bought it, and I think they just shelved it. So the producer, Andrew McDonald, bought the rights back, and then he sold them to Sony, who's producing and distributing the next film. And Sony was like, okay, we're going to put it out. So you can rent it on, I guess, whatever streaming platform, Vudu and Apple or whatever. I don't even know what those things are, but it'll be available. Amazon, I guess. So that's some cool news. The Blu-rays are still a fortune, but at least you can watch it now. Anything else before we kick off the draft?
One quick thing. The Superman trailer is coming out this week. I'm super excited. Superman's like one of my favorite comic book characters. And the trailer comes out this Thursday. They released a little bit of this snippet of the new theme song. And it has tones of like the Richard Donner one. But it's going to come out Thursday, I think, at 2:00. They're actually doing a screening of the trailer for, I think, some critics or some people in the industry.
Okay, that's exciting. I'm pumped for that. I haven't seen a good Superman movie since I was a kid, probably. Okay. I'm right. Oh man, right now I'm trying to do the draft order thing. I found a really cool website that did it before, but let me try generate draft order.
Got to check that
Oh.
history.
Okay, number one. Number one is Pedro. Number two is Scott. Number three is Paul, and I am last. So that's the draft order. So Pedro, you would go first, and I think last time did we do like snake order, or did we do? It came back right to one from 4 to 1. Pedro, you're on mute.
I think you used the counter again, or
Yeah, we
No.
randomized it every round. Every round we randomized it.
Every round or midway through?
I think it was every round.
every round.
Yeah.
Wow.
We could do snake though if you want this time.
Okay.
Yeah, snake
that
seems
works.
good.
You want to do snake?
Yeah, let's try
Okay.
it that way this time.
Okay, so it was Pedro, Scott, Paul, and then me. Cool. And then we'll go back. So let me just put the order here. Because Pedro, Scott, Paul, Bruno. Okay, Pedro. Just to give the audience a sort of quick shakedown on the rules. So one person picks a movie. I'm sorry. So let me just start that over. One person picks a category, and here are the categories. The categories are action adventure, animation, horror, classic, comedy, family drama, romance, non-Christmas holiday movie. So those are the, how many categories is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 9? Did we do that? Okay, I guess it is 9. I thought I cut 2, but okay, we're at 9.
I have 8 that you have horror, classic, comedy, family drama, or is drama and family 2 separate categories?
No, that's 1. So
Okay, that's what I thought. Then romantic, dramatic, hidden gems.
those 2 got cut,
Hidden gems got cut.
and drama got cut.
Oh, dramatic got cut. Okay.
So how many do you have?
Well, from that, I guess it's 6.
8. No, you have 8. Okay, we have 8. We have 8 categories. So once a category is picked, then somebody picks their favorite movie from that category. If everybody agrees, that person gets 3 points. Somebody can contest it and put forth a counter pick. If that pick wins, they get 2 points.
Yeah, you're right. I
If
see
not,
that.
they lose a steal. So you can steal somebody's pick. And how many steals do we assign? Just 2, right? 2 steals per person.
Let's do one. One steal.
Yeah,
For
last time I think we had 3 rounds and we had 2 steals. This time we're only doing 2 rounds, maybe like 1 steal per person.
Yeah, we'll do 1 steal per person. Yep, that's fair. Okay, Pedro, you're up first. Categories again are action, adventure, animation, horror, classic, comedy, family drama, romance, and non-Christmas holiday movie. You're on mute, I think.
I'm gonna try to go for the low-hanging fruit and just try to get some points on the board because I know at least the comedy category is there's so many movies to choose from.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with classic, and I'm gonna say Miracle on 34th Street, the original Miracle on 34th Street.
From the 40s or the 1994 one?
No, from the 40s, because I think that's like the classic that everyone has seen. Black and white. I don't know. I mean, I think that's like that was on the table as like one movie that everyone saw at some point.
That was from 1947, Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah. Like I even remember them showing us this one in school, stuff like that. Teachers showing this one.
I have something different.
Let's go, Scott.
I have something different. Now,
are you you're gonna use your steal on this?
I don't know.
Like you see him rocking?
I don't
rocking
no,
right
I'm
now.
thinking about it.
Now I'm rocking because I'm in my chair that rocks. Has nothing to do with my. Has nothing to
He's
do
ready
with
to
it.
pounce, man. He's like a tiger right now.
I'm rocking around the Christmas tree in a happy holiday. I would say that because Pedro, were you thinking Miracle on 31st Street because of how old the movie is, being a classic, or just how many times people have seen it?
All of the above.
All of the above.
I mean, it's classic. It's gotten like, I don't know what it is, like MGM grand classic releases over the years. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like that's one of the first Christmas movies you're introduced to.
Well,
as a kid.
to me, I would say that
Hold on. Don't name a movie unless you plan to steal. Well, this is not a conversation. I mean, sure, you can discuss, but
You could comment, just
can
don't name a movie.
yeah, don't name a movie.
well, I was not going to try to steal from the very beginning.
So then, okay, so you just either give Pedro
See-
your vote.
Well, here's my challenge here. A lot of
Go-
these movies to me, it was a little difficult because some of these I felt fit into comedy, but also fit into classic.
That's true.
So
That's
that
what
was
makes it a little bit interesting and a little bit dangerous. So you can save it, your steal or your movie pick in general, to I think some of these can go into like 3 categories.
But you know what? Maybe I'll save that movie. I'll save it to see if there's an even worse. I don't think it's a bad choice, Pedro. So I will give you the point, and I may save this movie for another category for a steal.
Yeah, I'll give Pedro the point. Paul's not having it.
I had something different. I just don't want to steal right now. I don't want to come out the gate like that.
Because
I had something different as well. I did have that on my list though, but not as number 1.
I also had Miracle on 34th Street, but I had it in the category that we eliminated, which was dramatic.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Don't
he
reveal
gets the
too
point
much,
either
Scott.
way. Nobody's contesting him, so he gets the point either
So he
way.
gets the point. Pedro, well done.
All right.
Damn.
I mean, the thing is, you could try to steal, but it doesn't mean everyone else is going to vote for your steal. Too.
Well, that's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
that's
could
why.
lose your steal and lose points.
Yeah, that's a good one. I never actually. I haven't seen it in years and years, but it's definitely a classic. But it's not the one. It was definitely not on top of my list. I think it was like 3rd on my list.
Yeah, same. Scott, you're up.
I was so much into my lecture about that. It didn't even come. I don't even thought about the next one. I would say, all right, I'll go with this one. Animation,
Ooh,
A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay. It's a good pick.
can I just say this Christmas movie list was so much harder to do than the Halloween monster one,
Yeah.
Much
and I think that was
there's
actually
there's
one
so
of the
many more
hardest
choices.
categories was animation for me because there was so many to go in there. It was such a hard choice to make for animation.
Yeah. I had Charlie Brown was on my list. Was not number 1 on my list. It was not even my number 1 Charlie Brown on my list.
Scott, it was number 1 on my list. Charlie Brown. Christmas ain't Christmas to me until I start out with the Charlie Brown special.
Yes.
And watching that Charlie Brown special, the season begins. And then all the other movies follow through. But it's whatever it may be. Halloween, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Thanksgiving, all of them. Even the Pilgrim special for Charlie Brown. So to me, it ain't a holiday season until I put on that Charlie Brown episode. And that was definitely number 1 for me.
I'm gonna give you the vote, Scott. That was
Yep.
not my number 1. But I don't think many of you guys have seen my number 1. And I'm more of a fan of I Want a Dog for Christmas, Charlie Brown, than the actual Charlie Brown Christmas.
Wait, can I take a guess on what yours was, Bruno? Because
I didn't know there were more than one Charlie Brown Christmas special.
was yours Arthur Christmas?
Yes. That movie,
another
I've
good
only
one.
seen it recently, but I thought it was so good. And then upon like researching, I didn't realize how. Yes, there's a lot of animation Christmas movies, but there's not a ton of like crazy classics. It's kind of a mixed bag. So there's no other than Charlie Brown. There's probably no major front runner.
Well, it's hard because if you look at Rankin and Bass, like those specials, you have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you have Santa Claus coming to town, you have a whole bunch from Frosty the Snowman.
Aren't those like?
Um,
Yeah, I guess they're animation. Yeah.
Yeah, those are animation.
Those,
Rankin
are
and
those
Bass.
considered movies or like short animations?
Well, they're like same runtime as Charlie Brown, about 25 minutes, half an hour. They're short ones.
Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
and
they're
Bass.
short.
Yeah, I
Robert
guess you
and
got to
Bass-
make an exception for that.
Robert and Bass. There's Rudolph. I think you mentioned Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Little Drummer Boy, The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, and Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah, I remember as a kid them coming on like CBS and whatnot, and being able to watch them all. To me, also, The Nightmare Before Christmas. To me, it was Charlie Brown and Nightmare Before Christmas were like top two in that category. Author Christmas was really cool too.
Yeah. Paul.
And How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That was another good one too.
Yeah, not one of my favorites. But yeah, classic.
All right, so animation and classics are gone. Oh wait, Pedro, what do you give Scott on that?
I'll give him my vote. I mean, you guys named a bunch of movies that I hadn't thought of, but if I had thought of some of those, I would have gone for the steal. Like I would have tried to steal with the Rudolph animation because that's a classic too. Could have fit that category.
Yeah. I don't have a connection to that movie. I haven't seen it since I was so young.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's kind of like everyone's choices depends on their connections to it. Like if you're a 90s kid, like A Nightmare Before Christmas is gonna definitely be like top of your list,
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're like an 80s kid, it might be the Rudolph movie or something, or like I don't know, one of the other ones. Or if you're, a 2000s kid, it might be something else. I don't know.
But to me, I think Scott's pick is like a universal one. It crosses boundaries.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown is such like an iconic special. Him kicking the foot, it's such a
Yeah,
such
you
a great
can't
classic.
you can't vote down Charlie Brown for anything. Whether
Damn,
it's
Scott came out
Christmas
with
or
fire,
anything.
man.
It's a TV special he saw.
Yeah, man. Damn.
All right, Paul, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with what I like in my wheelhouse, the horror, Christmas horror. This one had a lot of good contenders, but to me, the classic Christmas horror was always Gremlins. I always remember that sad
I forgot
story.
about that. That is a Christmas movie.
There's tons of good ones. Trust me, like It's a Wonderful Knife. I like that. That was a really fun one. Krampus, Anna and the Apocalypse was really good. It's like in the same vein as Shaun of the Dead, but it's like a Christmas musical special. It's so good. It's about zombies. Rare Exports is really good. That's on Prime right now. That's such a good one. Like they're miners and they find Santa Claus and they start mining to get him out. He's been buried for like thousands of years. But to me, Gremlins. Gremlins is like, I just remember her telling the story about her father coming down the chimney and breaking his neck and hearing that sad story. And then like, just such a good movie. And it's like an entry level horror. So it's not like, gory or stupid or like, cheesy. It's just so well rounded. So to me, I have to go Gremlins. Gremlins Christmas horror.
That's one of those movies that like it's almost like time is forgetting that movie because they have remade it. It's not like they show it all the time anymore on TV or stuff like that. So it's one of those movies
right now.
It's one of those movies that's slowly getting forgotten, until like something comes up in pop culture that brings it back, and then they like try to make like a series out of it or something.
To me, it's in the same it's in the same window as like Back to the Future, where it's like this classic that has never gotten remade or like, they might have had a cartoon or something about
and everyone remembers what the story is. with that movie, but people tend to forget that it is a Christmas movie. It takes place in Christmas.
Even the music, I can hear the music now. I still remember all the rules. I haven't seen it in a while, but like, oh man, just thinking about it, I got to watch it again.
From what I read, there's kind of a debate. I'm not debating it, but there's been a debate on whether or not Gremlins is considered a Christmas movie. But
We
Shots
just
fired.
settled that debate. We just settled that debate.
oh, I know. Oh, I know. I'm just saying that it is written of whether or not
It
it
was
is
written.
considered one. But I myself, I've never seen it, but I definitely have interest of
Yeah.
seeing it. The movie was from 1984.
You
Yeah.
got to see it. I mean,
Yes.
this is another one of the on the Exorcist list. Now you got to add on Gremlins.
It made me think about how can people say that they have nothing to watch? There's plenty to watch. You just have to make a list and go, wait, there is stuff that you need to watch.
Exactly.
And this is one of them.
That Gremlins was the only one on my list. This was my forfeit category. I knew I wasn't gonna go for this, but I did have Gremlins just in case it somehow landed on my lap. But yeah, Paul, I think that's the pick. You got my vote.
Yeah, you got my vote too, but my movie for that category, and I'm gonna throw it in there, but nothing beats Gremlins. It was Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a
I have that next to
1984.
watch.
It's a 1984 like horror slasher film where Santa's the slasher. Crazy. It's one of those. Came out at that time where a bunch of low budget slasher movies were making history, and that's one of them. So.
That's funny because that's next on my list. I have like a couple of horror movies I'm still trying to get to.
You should watch it. That one's great. You should watch that, and then the following week you should watch New Year's Evil, which is another slasher film that takes place in
Yeah.
on
What is
New
it?
Year's.
New Year's Evil?
Yeah, New Year's Evil.
I just pulled up the photo. It's this guy in a full Santa suit, like the mall Santa suit, wielding an axe, just like
Yeah.
And isn't that a
running
classic
somebody
like
down.
a TNA like slasher old school like a Friday
Yeah,
13th type?
it's that type of category.
Yeah, they made another Silent Night, but it was actually about like the end of times or whatever, and these people were just like in a cabin, and they were it was like this gas or something coming towards them. It had actually some pretty big name actors in it.
It's from the time when movie posters were like drawn and stuff, and like just looked like a comic book page or something.
Yeah, that was
from
definitely
that
next
era.
I gotta watch.
Okay, next category. So now I feel like it's getting tricky.
Tricky. All right.
And it's been a clean sweep. Nothing being contested. But a lot of
This might come down to a steal if you get points. But if you don't get points right now, you might be done so.
If I don't get points, I might be toast.
It sounds like you're jinxing it, Bruno. Come on.
I'm gonna go with action adventure, and I'm gonna pick Home Alone 2.
Oh. You might get a couple steals here now.
Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm down for anything. Bring it on.
I got a steal, but I'm gonna let someone else go first if they want to.
I think I've said many times how I love Home Alone, and I love Home Alone 2 better than Home Alone. But as far as action concerned, there's actually another movie I would want to steal with.
Are you stealing?
Yes.
You're gonna say red one, aren't you?
No.
It's horrible.
No, I would not. I have not wasted my time to see that movie yet. But I would say for action adventure, I would go with the classic Jingle All the Way from 2003.
Oh, okay.
That was my number 2.
With Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That is a
and
great.
Phil Hartman too, no?
And of course, Phil Hartman. Yes.
That is a good movie. I think I just saw that for the first time like 2 years ago or something. That's a really good movie. Are we doing double steals? Because I got an even better one.
Jingle All the Way is not beating Home Alone 2. There's no way.
Oh, come on. They're running around the freaking city.
I'm not in love with either of those. I'm kind of curious what Pedro got.
All right, I'm gonna try to steal the steal, and I'm gonna say Die Hard is my
Oh.
action Christmas movie.
That was
And you can't get
number
more
one.
action than that.
That was number one
I
on my
don't know.
list.
I
That
don't
was
think it's a
number
better movie
one
than
on
Home
my
Alone
list.
2.
But is it a better action movie? Because we're talking about the category.
Action adventure.
And that
Action
is
adventure.
now you want to say Gremlins was contested if it was like a Christmas movie. Now Die Hard has been across the board contested.
Yep.
That's the
If
OG
it's a-
contest.
That's the yeah, exactly. OG contest, and across the board, a lot of people will tell you it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
See what
I'm not
AI,
gonna
Bruno,
bother
see what AI has to say about that.
about whether it is a Christmas movie. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to contest that. Like, that's fine. Let me see.
'Cause I definitely
Definitely in my book, it's a Christmas movie without a doubt. He even says like, oh, they have a couple catchphrases about
yeah,
Christmas.
it's in one of the catchphrases.
And it takes place during Christmas. Yeah, ChatGPT says it is, and it gives reasons
It's
why.
Definitely. I don't know
some
how people even try to argue that it's not a Christmas movie.
some people, so it says it actually has here. So because it's an action-packed thrill with violence intensity, far from the warm, family-oriented feel of a traditional Christmas film.
What the main
That's so stupid. What about Christmas horror movies?
Are they wearing a Santa suit? No, I don't think that's the debate here. I've always been impartial to whether it is or it's not, so I'm happy to go with considering that it is. But is it a better? I guess you guys can vote whether you think it's a better film, a better action adventure movie than Home Alone 2. And I pick Home Alone 2 because it takes place in not all of New York City, but mostly around Central Park and the Upper West Side. But it's a kid running through Manhattan.
Well, I'd say the main scenes that there were in Jingle All the Way is there was a long chase.
Oh, Jingle All the Way. Okay, so
a long chase with the
How are we
jetpack
gonna
fight.
decide this?
well, I think Pedro, you probably stole a little too early, and we should have probably voted on Jingle All the Way versus Home Alone 2, and then maybe Pedro steals after.
Yeah.
So I guess it's up to you, Pedro and Paul, to see if you want to vote for Jingle All the Way or Home Alone. Basically, you're voting for
Well, for that
Scott
one,
Steele.
I just watched Home Alone 2 last night, and I actually had second on my list was Home Alone 1 as action adventure. I didn't even think about putting 2. 2 is pretty like the same thing, a really good action adventure.
But the difference is 1, he doesn't leave the house. He just goes to the store to get stuff. 2, he's roaming through the city.
Yeah, but I would say, the hijinks he gets up to and all the action of them just trying to break into the house was
It's
even more
identical.
unique and like creative the way they did it because it was all based in the house. So
Yeah.
that to me always, and they still used it. Like I just watched, oh man, what was that horror movie? It was Better Watch Out, and they used the gag of the paint cans in that movie straight out, and they even mentioned it to Home Alone. So to me, out of the two of those, I would have to say Home Alone is like more of my vote for a Christmas action movie out of those two.
Are you guys considering your choices more action or more adventure?
In this one, I was leaning adventure, just because it's not the
I don't
action is comedy action. It's like physical comedy.
Yeah, that to me, that's comedy. It's not action. But adventure, I could see that. I just don't see the action part in either of your guys' choice.
I had Jingle All the Way as my number 2 for action adventure because there's like some action or stunt pieces, I guess.
Yeah.
And also considering it's a Christmas movie. But you guys got to vote.
So I think
You guys got to vote.
didn't we
I pick Home Alone on that one.
We split points on the Halloween special when there was.
We did. I don't recall why, but yeah, there was a tie at one point.
Because the same thing that happened now, we couldn't decide which one was.
Well,
better.
right now, me and you are just deciding who goes against you, basically. If you want to pick Scott and Bruno, or Bruno, and then we
But
go
what if
against.
there's a tie? We didn't think about these.
If it's a tie, I think we split it. I think each person got 2 points or something like that. We did that last time. Like now, after you two, like, oh, if we tie this one,
If we tie right now,
oh, then we got to throw Pedro's pick.
I
into
really,
the-
I really
in the-
like both movies, but Scott, what are you categorizing yours as, action or adventure?
I gave 50-50. It was action and also adventure. I was taking the category serious and thought about them both equally.
See, I didn't even have Home Alone at all, and I had that under my comedy. But I guess
I have that under
if they're
comedy
both,
as well.
if they're both, if you guys consider, if it's unanimous that though both those movies fit into this category, I'm gonna say Home Alone too.
Yeah, I think they both fit because I have them
Yeah.
both. I have them both in this category.
Okay.
And especially more to Bruno's point of Home Alone 2 over Home Alone 1, they're actually run around the whole city. So that is like an adventure. And there's tons of action. I mean, they're getting pummeled, bricks being thrown at people. They're like, when you got stunts and stuff like that going on, there's tons of action.
Right. And I think Jingle All the Way, similar action. It's a lot
Well,
of
yeah.
physical comedy and stunts.
And one hell of an adventure too, because they're running around town trying to get a present.
Trying
So
to get
that one.
that superhero toy.
So now,
Yeah.
all right. So now it's Bruno and Pedro, and now me and Scott have to throw our votes. Scott, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first.
This one I'm gonna have to go with Die Hard. It was actually number one on my list, and it's such a classic. Like Home Alone's a classic too, but when I think of like real action adventure, and Christmas time, and I'm trying to remember what the heck the phrase was that he said, but it definitely was a Christmas phrase. But anyway, for me, it's Die Hard. Die Hard was an awesome Christmas action movie.
Scott,
What?
you have to vote, buddy.
Scott,
I didn't I steal?
no, but you get to vote now.
You got-
Scott's
you got-
upset that his deal didn't go
You got
far.
defeated.
Well, I think it's more of a draw, but because I think they're both action and adventure in their own ways. So what's the vote now so far?
It's you and Paul. Paul votes Die Hard.
Okay. I'm going to vote Jingle All the Way, which makes it kind of a draw.
I mean, you can't make up
No,
your
no,
mind.
you
You
can't
gotta vote for. You can't vote for your own film.
Yeah, you can't
Oh.
vote for your own. You got to vote for either Home Alone 2 or Die Hard.
Oh,
You
then,
still voting on Jingle All the Way.
wait, you mean Jingle All the Way is not under consideration anymore?
No.
You mean I'm supposed to follow along and know what's going on in the podcast that I'm on the episode on? I would say Home Alone 2.
Okay. So
split.
so that's a split.
You each get 1 point each, right? Because if you
Yeah.
steal, you get 2 points. If you win it straight
Yeah.
out, you get 3 points, and if you split it, you get 1.
Yeah. So split. Okay. Yeah. So we get one each.
By the way, the quote was "Yippee-ki-yay, MFer."
No, not the famous quote. There was like something they said about Christmas.
Oh,
He was like,
there's one where he says, "Now I have a machine gun." Ho ho ho.
yeah, and there was something either like something about Jingle. I forgot what it was. All right.
I'll see if I can find it. It's not coming
Now,
to my head right
one
now.
small anecdote about Home Alone 2 is that if you're going to watch the movie, don't watch it on ABC or Freeform. Actually, don't watch on either one because they edited out sections of the movie, so you're not going to see the movie from beginning to end. Particularly in Home Alone 2, there's a scene where Kevin goes up to the sky view of what was then the World Trade Center. They edited out that entire section of the movie, and it skips right over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it completely skips over. So if you really pay attention, you can hear like a little sloppy music edit.
Okay.
I watched
Right.
it last night. I watched it on Disney.
That you so in that case, there's
I
a
had the
song.
whole thing.
All I ever want. It's the scene where he goes and he lands at the airport and he's running around the city and they're playing that song. They edited out like a whole 30 seconds.
Oh, is that when
Okay.
he's fumbling with the batteries on that voice recorder? I remember that being such a hot toy, where you could
Yeah, the
record people's
walkie.
and slow it down and change it.
That was
this be,
before.
Let this be a good reason to buy the physical copy of this movie. to
Yes.
everyone out there.
No Mandela effect, man. If you got the hard copy.
There's
Yeah.
plenty of YouTube videos of what they cut out of the movie, what Disney cut out of the movie. So you can definitely look it up and see the comparison.
Okay. Next category. Okay, who's up? How did we decide this? Is it back to one?
So we're doing Snake. It's you.
So it's me again. I should have prepared.
So wait, after one round, Bruno is in last with 1 point. Me and Scott are tied for second and 3 points each, and Pedro's got 4.
Yeah, I
Damn,
have the
Pedro runs
scoreboard
away with
here
things,
as
man.
well. At the bottom of that link, you'll see the scoreboard, but someone else should keep track as well. Okay, categories available: comedy, family, romance, and non-Christmas. This is tough. These are all very, very tough.
And if it does come down to a tie, are we going to throw in the hidden gems category for like a tiebreaker? I
Yeah,
guess?
we can do the hidden gems if it comes down to a tie.
Or
sure.
number one overall Christmas movie ever, or whatever, something like that.
I'm gonna go family.
Ooh,
These categories are tough, but I'm gonna go family, and I'm gonna go A Christmas Story. Blank stares.
Nope, just I'm in total agreement with that one. That was my non-answer to that.
I actually had A Christmas Story for classic.
Yep,
That could work.
that
too,
would have
yeah.
worked too. Yeah. Paul's.
That should have been your steal.
Oh, hold on. So Scott and Pedro burned steals. Let me just make a note of that. Use their steals.
Shoot,
yeah, me and you.
I would have thought you forgot.
I almost did
I
until
know.
I saw Paul's face, and I was like, he's trying to steal my.
Shucks.
No, now I wish I had gone after Pedro with the classic, because that's a good one for family. It was number 1 on my list. Number 2, I had number 1 on classic list, and I should have really thrown it in there.
What do you mean? Number 2, you had number 1?
My number 2 pick for family, I had as my number 1 for classic, and Pedro didn't have it. And I should have gone for it, because I think Christmas Story is definitely a better family drama. Christmas Story.
I think it's the most well known that we know of. There's another one I would have picked, but yeah, I would say that would be the one to go with.
I think so. And even then, I have another one I'll say later. But I could say it doesn't really fall into any other category, but no, I'll hold it just in case.
Well, I'll say that I would have thought that someone would have said National Lampoon Christmas Vacation from 1989, but no one. I'm just saying this because I can't steal.
Well, that can fall into some categories that are still left. So I think that's why people are waiting their turn.
I don't think so.
But that is a classic too. It is a classic.
I don't think so.
Damn.
Well, I'm
Okay,
not going to contest it. I'm giving Bruno the point on this. I want to, but I'm not. Not strong enough.
Next category, I believe, is you, Paul.
Wait, so everyone goes, Bruno? I got a 3 on that with
I got my
Christmas Story. Wow.
I also had Home Alone, but we already gave it to Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone
2 already.
You know, I was going back and forth between Home Alone and Christmas Story for family, but Home Alone felt more like more character driven with just him, as compared to his family was kind of more in the background. Where Christmas Story, it's like they're constantly interacting with each other, so it felt more of like a family dynamic.
And like the father, the mom, they get their own screen time. The brother gets his own screen time. It's certainly more of a family dynamic throughout. But I do feel like Home Alone can go into like 3 or 4 categories.
One thing that going back to Home Alone 2, but come on, that scene when they're doing that holiday concert and Kevin's older brother is playing those candles on his ears and everyone falls and then the woman falls backwards at the piano, and then of course by the end of
Classic buzz.
You hear Kevin. He's like, what did I do? And then it goes right into an interrogation with the brother as if it's not his fault.
Then what happens?
They made Kevin. Oh, I thought you were joking. No, they make Kevin say he's sorry. He's like,
We've
I'm not
seen the
saying-
film.
Of course, we all know that.
Okay, for the sake of time.
I'm gonna go with
Wait, what's the category?
this is a hot button. I'm gonna go with comedy. I know everyone's got a pick for comedy. It's gonna be a rough one, but I'm definitely not going romantic, and I'm not going non-Christmas holiday. Comedy, I'm gonna have to go with Dear Santa. No, I'm joking. Definitely
I was
not.
like, wait, what is that?
Dear Santa, the one that just came out with
Too soon.
Yeah. Oh,
Too
God.
soon.
all right, my real comedy pick is Elf. That's my number one comedy Christmas movie. There's a couple movies out there that you could say are pretty funny, but from beginning to end, most iconic, classic Will Ferrell. Elf to me is like, oh my gosh.
People forget that it came out so long ago. It came out in 2003. It doesn't feel like it, but
Wow.
it did.
Yeah.
I thought it was late 2000s.
And that was like right, I think either as he was hitting his prime or right before his prime. So this was just classic, like, oh my gosh. I remember that part where they're announcing that the Santa is coming to the mall, and he just jumps out of left field and he's like, Santa, and he does that big scream. Like, like just everything in that movie. Like him talking about the 4 major food groups for elves being like sugar and candy. Like he is just like, that movie is nonstop, and he's the one that makes it. It's so good. And then pitting him against like James Caan, that's such a classic figure from like The Godfather and all this other stuff, and seeing those two again, such a great.
And then he changes everyone's mindsets around all these people that are like don't have any, like they're so mean and nasty. All of a sudden he turns them around and he's like, what is going on here? The mailroom is like having a party.
And even his elf costume, because he's such a
Yes.
big guy, he's like 6 foot something, and to have him in that like little tiny elf costume for the whole time, it's just such classic comedy all around. To me, that's my pick.
What about when he picks up the phone and goes, "But the elf, what's your favorite color?"
I got a hot take. I don't think that movie's that funny. But
Are you crazy?
That's a real that cannot be any more of a cold take. That's been on ice, put in the freezer, and it hasn't been taken out for at least 35 years.
It has some good scenes that make me laugh out loud, but not one of my favorite Christmas movies in general. But I'm not gonna challenge. Just by hearing Scott's rave review, I'm gonna let that go.
I think Joe bounced to go watch a little bit of it again.
I think you went to the side and watched a little trailer of the movie. But I think Bruno, I think you need to watch the movie again.
No, I've seen it a few times. It's okay. It's fine. Okay, Pedro, I think you're on mute, but we're about to award Paul the 3 points for comedy.
I got no quarrels with that. That's a great movie.
Wait, I got to hear now. Bruno, unless it goes to another category, what was your pick for comedy?
It does go into other. I'll say it at the end.
Okay.
I have a few picks. And now what?
Yeah,
Pedro, I think we're on you.
No, now it's Scott.
Oh, that's right.
I'm last on this round.
Oh boy. Well, I either have romantic or I have non-Christmas holiday movies. Well, this can go either way. Because what's funny is that I'm not going to do non-Christmas. I think I'll do romantic. And based on, how complex and, how many storylines there are in this movie, I would go with Love Actually from 2003. Because how many more love stories how many romantic love stories can you have than to have multiple storylines going on in the same movie, and they all end with a happy, lovely, almost that end happy, lovely ending to them.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That is a good pick.
And it has Hugh Grant, Emma Thompson, Colin Firth, Liam
I'll clap
Neeson,
for that.
Keira Knightley. Like how many? Alan Rickman. How many
Paul?
more well-known people?
Paul
Laura
said,
Linney.
"Nah, hold
Look,
on."
I like his pick, but my strategy is basically I'm not going to try to steal a non-Christmas holiday movie. There's just not that many of them to try to steal. So I'm going to have to use my steal here because I have a steal left that I haven't used. I do like his. I like Love Actually. I think it was a pretty good movie, but romantic. I'm kind of trying to think of like a moment that's more powerful than this moment. And it always stands out to me. It's a Wonderful Life when they're outside, the husband and the wife, and they're outside and he's talking about lassoing the moon. And she drops her towel and she has to hide in the bushes and he's joking around with her. And then at the very end, it's like the love they have for each other. Wonderful Life is what I was actually going to throw into classic. That was the one I was talking about. But I also had it down as I had it number one, actually in like 2 or 3 categories. And to me, it fit romantic. A Buffalo Girl, Won't You Come Out Tonight? It always sticks out to me. It was like a love story between the two of them.
Okay, I'm gonna be. I gotta go with Love Actually, and only because I haven't spent a lot of time with It's a Wonderful Life, so I feel like distant from that film, and I know how important it is, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I remember like vaguely like a scene inside of a restaurant or some kind of business, and then I remember that scene in the end, but I don't remember the characters or well enough. Love Actually is, I don't have a huge fondness for it, but it's like you can't say it's not a good movie. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Scott on this one with Love Actually.
Yeah,
Pedro?
Scott's got my vote. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the category, but that's one movie that always gets talked about. So.
It's getting tight. It's getting tight.
This is going to be coming down to the end right now.
Actually, I did not to quote I picked it because it had the word love in it, and also in the show I watched, they mentioned it and it's been a whole section about the movie. I don't remember it. It was a long time ago when I saw it.
Yeah, but it's one of those movies I haven't seen in a long time either.
Oh yeah, but you remember it.
You remember because there's so many characters with each individual storylines. Like you just remember scenes. You just remember scenes. Like it is as far as like casting. Like this thing is stacked.
Oh yes.
A lot of.
You really got to give It's a Wonderful Life another try, man. You gotta watch it up. It's
the perfect time.
It's such a great, even if like, okay, I get it, like you're not the romantic, but to me, I think It's a Wonderful Life is probably the all-time best classic Christmas movie. Like it just gives you that feeling of valuing and appreciating what you have in the true Christmas spirit. I would have to put it above everything. Even before Christmas Story is right up there with me. I love Christmas Story. I've watched it every single Christmas. It's been on TBS or whatever, like wherever you watch it, and it is such a classic. But to me, It's a Wonderful Life. I can't watch it every year because it's so like emotional. It's very heavy.
It's very draining.
Yeah, it is very draining. So but when you do watch it, like maybe every couple of years, it's so powerful. It's such a great movie.
Well, it doesn't. I would have picked It's a Wonderful Life, but I was concerned about it being from 1946. I would think it would morph it into being a classic. It doesn't get enough play.
It does not get enough play. It does not get enough shine in like the streaming service recommendations. I that's for sure. It gets a little buried in there. But yeah, to your point, it could easily have gone in the classics.
Guys, I'm gonna admit a mistake I made. That was actually the movie I meant to say, and not Miracle on 34th Street for my first choice.
Wow.
Oh.
And I was gonna steal with that on classics,
You,
but it was,
you
it was
definitely
the
should
very
have.
first
you
pick, so
should've
I was
done
like,
it.
nah, I can't start
I
like
got the
that.
two movies confused.
I was a little
Damn.
surprised
You
that
can't
he went
confuse
with
you
the
can.
OG Miracle on 34th, which is in its own right a classic, but we grew up with the 90s version. I'm
Yes.
way more familiar with that one.
What was that with John Hammond from like Jurassic Park? Wasn't he the
Yeah. And the little girl, I forget her name. She was, yeah.
Damn, Pedro, you should retroactively fix that mistake now by voting for it, and fixing that problem.
Well, it wouldn't have been, it would have just prevented maybe this steal, Paul, from you. Because if he would have picked that as the classic, he would have probably won it.
Now, wait, what would you guys pick? Just now, this sidebar. What would you guys have picked for classic? Would it have been
Classic.
Wonderful Life or Christmas Story out of those two? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Miracle on 34th Street.
For
Classic.
classic,
Oh,
I had
Wonderful Life. I would have gone.
Yeah,
with
Wonderful Life,
I
I
had-
think.
Damn, I should have stolen.
I had A Christmas Story as my classic.
I had A Christmas Story as well.
Right.
Yeah, those three are definitely like top notch. All right, one category left.
Pedro, you're on the non-Christmas holiday movie. This is a tough category. I got a sneaky one.
Don't forget to add my. Oh, that's you. Did you add my points already?
I did, no?
Oh, you didn't put the category. That's why that's why I was confused. You didn't. You put the total.
I only put the points in.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's why I got confused.
This was a tough one for me. I only two movies come to mind, and I could have gone with either one of those, but I'm gonna go with The Holdovers. Last year's like really, really amazing, under the radar, one of my favorite movies of the year, if not my favorite movie of the year. And I just want to spice things up, so I just want to throw something newer in there.
That's a great pick. I had Holdovers for family drama after Christmas Story. But I'm going to steal just because I got to steal. And this is
you do have a steal. That's right. I thought Paul was the last steal.
Final steal.
This movie takes place on Christmas. It's not about Christmas, but it is certainly a Christmas time movie. And I'm going to go with 1983's Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. No.
How did nobody pick 8 Crazy Nights?
I didn't like that movie.
Really? I think it more sways Hanukkah than Christmas, kind of. I don't think of that as a Christmas movie necessarily.
Well, this is a non-Christmas holiday movie.
That was my other choice. That was my other
but
choice, but I didn't want to. That was my other choice, but between those two movies, I like The Holdovers better. But that was my other choice because it fits perfectly into the non-holiday, non-Christmas holiday movie.
And then the number one non-Christmas holiday movie that I can't believe you guys didn't pick was The Hebrew Hammer. All right,
Never
part
heard of that.
Street,
Hebrew Hammer.
part man, 100% kosher. That is the actual tagline.
That sounds like something I'd definitely watch.
And you know who made that movie? Adam Goldberg.
Ali G?
No, Adam Goldberg, man.
Oh shit.
He made a lot of good stuff.
And
it's Mario Van Peebles is on this.
And
now, that is number. I should have stolen with that.
And it's available on Peacock.
There you go. See, the bird knows what's up.
It has also
Judy Greer. Yeah,
Andy Dick, Rachel Dratch, Mario Van Peebles, I guess as you say, Peter Coyote.
The Hebrew Hammer, man. You know.
Man, I've never seen Trading Places, but now I'm like interested in watching that. How
did one find that before it was on Peacock? What was it like? You went
He,
into like the
he was
video.
looking to alternate into that
You-
alternate category hard.
See, this is what was dangerous going into a video rental store. Like the random movies would come out, and you see the flyer that goes, "Oh, here's this movie that came out." You're like, "I see the poster. I'm gonna grab that," and then you get lost. See, we don't
That was
have that
the-
anymore.
That was the beauty of that. That's how I saw as a younger kid. That's how I saw most of my horror movies. Was just going to the horror section and choosing by the cover.
Yes, choosing
Yeah.
by the cover.
All right, Sky, you go first on this one. I went first last time. You got.
Of what I picked for non-Christmas holiday movies, I picked Die Hard, which is what you already picked before, because
That's actually a good pick.
I guess that could fit into that too.
I would
Yeah.
say that is specifically a non-Christmas holiday movie because it's not really themed around Christmas.
Damn, I would have given it to you.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
a good
That's
pick.
actually a really good pick on non-Christmas. All right, we got to pick between Bruno and Pedro though.
Have you guys seen Trading Places?
I have,
haven't.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
actually pretty funny.
No.
No? Okay. Damn. That was one of those movies that was just on TV when I was a kid all the time. It's basically like these rich Wall Street scumbags make Eddie Murphy, who's a homeless guy, into like this bring him into this wealthy aristocrat world. And Dan Aykroyd, who's this rich dude, they make him basically poor. So they trade places. It's
I'm
hilarious. It's really good.
And those two old rich white dudes are very reminiscent of those two old rich white dudes from the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Very,
gonna
like,
definitely watch
mirror-like.
that movie now.
It's pretty. It's
I'm
pretty.
gonna watch
pretty
that
funny.
movie now.
Now
And
wait,
then you
wait.
see-
Why? I don't remember too much about the Christmas part of it. What was the Christmas aspect of it?
Well, it takes place during the Christmas season. There's a part where Dan Aykroyd shows up like when he's at the end of his wits, like drunk, dressed up as Santa, crashes like one of those parties, and he's like off his rocker. But yeah,
yeah. Okay. All right.
That movie also makes me think of Coming to America. That movie took place during the whole like Christmas, New Year's time too.
oh, it did, right? That was during Christmas too. It was probably the same producers.
And it's Eddie Murphy also, so it makes me think of that. But that's
Eddie
like
Murphy.
I don't know, that's like a more known movie. But
Okay, we got to vote.
All right, Scott, you go first.
So to review, what are my choices?
Great.
Holdovers or Trading Places?
Well, I don't think this is a hard one. I would say Trading Places,
You said you haven't seen it.
but I know about it.
I'll take it.
But I would think, truthfully, I wouldn't think holdovers. What did I say? Holdovers or Trading
Have you
Places?
seen Holdovers?
have you seen either movie?
Hold on. I got confused by the titles. Hold on. Retract. I think Holdovers is a Christmas movie because they have a freaking Christmas tree up at the school. And the whole thing, so I know I would
It
say
is a
Trading
Christmas
Places,
movie. That's why I chose it.
but the category is non-Christmas holiday movie. So I wouldn't think it's a non-Christmas holiday movie. So I
Well,
would go
that's the same thing
That's
as like.
I see your argument. I'm
I
just
would
saying.
say Trading
I'm saying
Places would be
Christmas
more of a-
wasn't like.
But you're
main theme
contradicting
of that
yourself a
movie.
little bit because
Let
Die
him
Hard
cook. Let him cook.
had a Christmas tree in it too.
that was just a prop. But the whole
That
thing
was in the lobby of the freaking building they were blowing
exactly.
up.
Exactly. That was just, props put it in there because they love Christmas or something. No. The holdovers, the whole movie is because everyone from the school goes home and the one
The
teacher,
holdovers.
they're held over at the school with so many kids, and the other kids got to go home except the one guy. So I would say Trading Places.
All right, Paul, you're the tiebreaker on this.
Damn. I mean, I had Holdovers as my number one hidden gem. But Scott does make good point. Holdovers was like
Yeah, that's
more of a
that's a good
Christmassy movie. I don't know. But it wasn't like the main focus of the movie. I guess the argument is, was it like a Christmas movie or does it fall into the non-Christmas holiday movie?
I
Like a
didn't
Die
have it.
Hard.
I had holdovers, but not in my non-Christmas movie.
I had a number one in my hidden gems. It was like that, Claus, Arthur Christmas.
I had all movies that take place around Christmas, but it's not about Christmas. Like the other movie I have, this is an old movie you guys probably never saw, but it's called The Apartment, where like this guy falls in love with this girl who works. It's from the 60s. He works in an
remember.
office building, and then like it takes place around Christmas and ultimately New Year's, but it's not about Christmas.
Is this the last category, or are we doing that hidden gems like round robin, or we eliminated that?
I didn't pick one for hidden gems, but I might be able to like recycle one. Maybe I don't really have one handy. I don't really have one.
I have one, but
I don't know. This is tough.
You got to call it, bro.
There's also a split on points. So this is what happened when I stole from Scott. We ended up splitting the points afterwards.
I think
Actually-
Holdovers is a Christmas movie as much as like Die Hard is, and Die Hard to me would have won this category. And I had Holdovers really high. I didn't have. I do love Trading Places, but I didn't have it anywhere on my Christmas list on any category. So I'm gonna have
This
to
is
go
a
with Holdovers.
non-Christmas movie.
Yeah,
the category is non-Christmas holiday movies.
It's okay. I disagree with you, but it's still your pick. You can make your choice.
I'm gonna have to go with the Holdovers.
Okay.
All right, we're
it's-
splitting the points
so it's
then.
a tie.
Yeah, they said Christmas like 9 times in the movie.
I agree. It is a Christmas movie. Okay, so then that's it. That's game. And this was tight as hell because Pedro, you and I split the points twice on 2 different categories. And basically, maybe we do go another round because Paul, you and Pedro split the win with 6, and Pedro and I have 5 apiece.
Actually, I think
No, Scott. Me and Scott.
yeah, we split it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
And Pedro, you and I have 5 apiece.
So maybe we should do a tiebreaker. Me and Paul.
Why don't we just do hidden gems?
Yes.
Everyone names a hidden gem and we all vote on which one's the best one.
Yeah, I don't really have one prepared, but okay, I'll go last.
Well, whatever's on your list of stuff that you haven't named, you could just whatever.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah,
Now,
I got some stuff.
If non-Christmas holiday movie was contested to that scrutiny,
It could be a hidden gem too. You might
What
have
would
something on there
yeah,
that
but like, what would be considered a hidden gem? Like, this could be highly contested. This one.
Why don't we
This is a
just do
hard
like
category.
I mean, I'll go first and I'll say my hidden gem is Bad Santa.
okay, yep,
Because
I had that on that's on my
that's
list.
not a huge movie. That's not something a lot of people think of, and it's a black dark comedy, whatever that genre is called, a black comedy. So that's
Yeah.
not something that goes with Christmas a lot, and that's
I-
one of my favorite like black comedies.
I had that on DVD. I had that on my list as well.
I actually have Bad Santa on as my hidden gems pick from 2003. I have it.
So
on
you
my-
both have Bad Santa as a hidden gem?
Yes.
You
I
can't
have.
take my. No,
No,
I'm kidding.
I can show you my sheet with the
I
cursor
believe you.
blinking
I believe
after.
you. I'm joking. I believe you.
I know.
Paul? Wait, Scott. All right, so you got to give something different, unfortunately.
Excuse me.
Let them have it because
Excuse me.
we'll flip the points.
I picked it too.
If we all decide on that one, then we'll just split the
Then
points.
you'll split the points. All right.
I thought that was pretty good for dramatic effect, I must say.
I got a good hidden gems, but it might not go over well with the crowd. Paul?
Oh, this is for all the marbles right here.
I got two of them. I'm just trying to pick which one. A hidden gem that I don't think is getting a lot of credit, and it was actually, I thought it was really good. It was a different take on the whole Scrooge story, was Spirited. Again, another classic Will Ferrell. You have Ryan Reynolds in it. I thought it was pretty good.
Spirited. I couldn't get through the first song.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not
I
gonna lie,
was like,
that
I
looked-
was like,
That ain't
nope.
too good.
Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds singing.
Oh, I thought it was a pretty
No,
good
no, no, no.
twist. I like the twist
That's
on it.
recent
It was
too. That's from 2022.
I think
That
if-
came out on Apple TV. I was like, no, don't do that.
yeah, I think the Cuisinart went too long. It became like this mush. It was
An
twisted
Apple
too
original-
much.
An
Twisted
Apple
way too
original
much.
film. I'm throwing that on my list of things to watch too.
Check that out. We'll check back in January. There's a couple, so we got to check back in January. Pedro, you check out Spirited. What was the one that's for Scott? Scott, what was your homework?
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Gremlins. Yes.
Check out Gremlins, please. My pick for a hidden gem is Scrooged, starring Bill Murray,
Oh,
which is a banger of a movie. It's another
was my
dark
horror.
comedy. It's a dark comedy. And it's just awesome. He's just like this mean.
Yeah.
It's like he's a TV executive basically, and he ruins everybody's life. And they're putting on this big play, and he's pretty much like a tyrant. And the ghost of Christmas Past, or one of them, is like this grimy old taxi driver and drives him around New York City. It's bonkers.
Scrooge was a good movie. I thought you were going to say Arthur Christmas for hidden gems. That was going to be my other pick. It was either Spirited or Arthur Christmas.
Yeah,
Buzz is
Arthur
really
Christmas
good.
is a real hidden gem. It is. But I feel like Scrooged, I watched it last year and I hadn't seen it again since I was a kid. And I was like, damn, it's really good. It's so dark.
yeah, that's a good movie.
So there's three movies that pretty much have the word Scrooge in it. There's Scrooge, which is what you mentioned, Bruno, from 1988. Then there's Scrooge, which is from 1970, and then there's Miss Scrooge from 97.
Oh, that's that sequel they don't talk about.
That's it.
Miss Scrooge.
Miss Scrooge.
Okay, should we vote? We have Spirited, Scrooge, and Bad Santa. Well, how does voting work here? We all vote. We all put a
Crapshoot of a vote.
I mean, I don't mean to contradict myself, but I would vote for Scrooge over my own pick. But
Yeah, I was leaning
guys-
towards Scrooge.
if you guys can't do what I just did, we can just check IMDb and see which one's the highest rated out of all the movies.
I was going to pick Scrooge. I think Scrooge was better than Spirited. I had it under horror. I didn't even think about it as a hidden gem because to me it is like it's like a pretty good classic.
Yeah, I'd vote for Scrooged.
So
You
like,
had it as a horror?
I had it as a horror. Yeah. Oh yeah, Scrooge. Oh man, it had some pretty horrific.
It was dark. It was a dark comedy.
When he was in the elevator and he saw the death spirit opening up his thing, his vest, they were stapling horns to little mice's skull. The guy who went through the window, his old boss, that was like all withered and his finger broke off. It reminded me something of like what was it? They're Here. What was that movie? They're Here.
Yeah.
Oh my.
so I looked it up.
What the heck is that movie?
On IMDb?
Is that they? No.
No, the little girl pointing at the screen. She's like, "They're here." Not Psycho.
Oh,
What's-
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. It had Poltergeist vibes to me. It was pretty good.
Scott, you got breaking news? What happened?
Well, I can see that. I wouldn't put it at that level, but on IMDb, Bad Santa has a 7.0 rating, and Scrooge has a 6.9.
Oh man, that's too close, man.
A 7 and a 6.9. Yeah.
Wait, is this
That's
Rotten
basically-
Tomatoes or IMDb? What are you looking at?
IMDb. Now, if we're gonna go to Rotten
I
Tomatoes,
mean, are we going to let's if we're gonna go by outside sources to pick the winner, let's go to Rotten Tomatoes and just go to like maybe we do the audience score for each of these
Well,
films?
I'm putting my vote for Scrooged, and so
Yeah,
is
me too. I think that Scrooge won it.
Okay.
so is Paul.
I
and
just asked ChatGPT and they told
Bruno,
me this
you're-
Scrooge, so that's messed up.
Bruno, you're gonna vote for your own movie, so then that's
Who was?
unanimous.
We never said chat BTP, chat
They told me Miss Scrooge, man,
HIJK,
so
elemental P.
I'm throwing it out the window.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
have to say,
vote for Scrooge as well.
Bad Santa
I
has
hope
a
you vote for
78.
Scrooge. Oh, pick
I'm
me.
not done here. Bad Santa
like you're
has a
throwing yourself a bone.
78%
Yeah, I'll
rating
pick
on the
Scrooge.
tomato meter, and Scrooge has a 71% on the tomato meter.
That's pretty.
What do the
It
other
shows
two
you-
have? Or I guess just Bad Santa. What is that?
Bad Santa has 78. Scrooge has 71.
I'm surprised. I thought
And also, Bad Santa has 219 reviews for the tomato meter. The popcorn meter has 100 plus thousand. But on Scrooge, it has 52 reviews and 50 plus thousand at 71%.
yeah, it's an old. I mean, the
the
movie's
popcorn
40 years old.
commenter.
Yeah.
I don't think when they made either of those movies, they
Is
thought
this
they
category
rated
for the
in
full
tomatoes
3
and
points,
popcorn.
or is it a 1-point category?
I mean, I don't know, man. Whatever.
I thought this was a 1-point category because it was an extra.
That's fine. It's a 1 point. Okay, so there's a 3-way tie.
Damn. The plot.
Default.
Pedro, why did you suggest that? Gee,
All right, how about this? All right, the
you made
three
it
of us
worse.
now, the number one Christmas movie, period. That's it.
A Christmas
number
story.
one.
A Christmas story. It has to be a Christmas.
We couldn't
story.
even come up with the classic.
It's
What do you
either a
mean, number
Christmas
one
story or
movie?
it's a Wonderful Life for me. Those.
Are you
two
not trying to get
categories.
sleep tonight? What is going on here?
Yeah.
To the top.
Maybe in the Christmas spirit, it's a 3-way tie. Everyone wins.
Yeah, we got to close this out. Pedro's kid's about to wake up. I'm about to go to bed. That like things are happening.
Or it could be
Um,
that special category that's worth 2, not 1, and then define a winner with that.
Yeah, because we want to end that last one with a winner. I mean, whatever. It's for the fun. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I'm okay with a 3-way tie.
Yes.
It's not for a donut this time.
No donuts this time.
It's okay. I'm gonna eat other sweets. I don't need any more donuts.
That was a long con, man. That was a nice little play. Send them the donuts. I like that. And undercover. It's not like you blew up the spot in the chat or anything like that.
He
It
didn't
was
try to
nice-
do it undercover.
undercover.
I don't think he was trying to do it undercover.
I did. I recalled roughly where he lived. I found your information's online, Scott. Just FYI.
Oh,
No,
I didn't
and
put
the-
it there. I
and the
didn't put it
drones
there.
are
But I
active
found
too
it.
right now.
you had my. You should have my address because you previously did send me something.
Yeah, and I went to your place. So I just like went on Google just to make sure. I was like, oh yeah, that's the same apartment building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
want to.
I would have sent
didn't
you a
want to.
donut. I just didn't know where you were at.
But
I'm right here in my lovely abode.
but yeah, I also want to shout out A
New
Muppet
Mexico.
Christmas Carol. Just want to shout that out. That movie's a
Never
lot of
saw
fun.
that.
It's
It's
a classic from '92. It's probably one of the last movies that Jim Henson produces before he passed away.
It's really good.
or Star Wars holiday special. The
Yes,
old back in the day
Oh, yeah.
VHS one.
I never saw that one.
Wait, before everyone gets off, I just want to hear everyone's like final what's your number one? Like you have to watch it every Christmas. It's your most favorite Christmas movie before we get off. Like
I
Oh,
usually have
Home
to
Alone.
watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I just like to watch Clark Griswold suffer.
That and A Christmas Story, you got to throw on all the time every year.
And the Home Alones, definitely.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I might throw on one of the Home Alones.
to me it's Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Wow,
be
so
sure to
everyone's
watch
got
It's a
different-
Wonderful Life again. It's been too
Yeah,
long.
you really gotta. They have it. They actually have it in black and white on Prime and in color. So depending on what your flavor is. All right,
And
cool. This is a good one.
Forgotten Gem, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yes, that was also one I was going to mention.
I had that in the family.
Okay, guys, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll see.
Congrats to
Bye.
the teams.
Congrats. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy holidays. And make sure you comment and put your favorites.
Yes. Good point, Steph.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.